Hi, we haven't spoken in a while. This is gonna be, I don't know if it's gonna be a short video. It's definitely going to be an unedited video because I don't think any editing is necessary for this. I'm just here to thank you for 300 subscribers. We've reached 300 subscribers on my YouTube. I waited a little bit until it's actually over the line. I think I've had 300 in the past and it kind of just flip-flopped over the line back and forth. And now I'm finally committing. I'm saying thank you for 300 subscribers. I remember when I reached 200 a couple years ago, I had all these big plans of making a celebratory video. I wanted to try out a bunch of bubble tea flavors for some reason. That was going to be my big 200 subscribers highlight video. Obviously I didn't do that. At the time I thought, well, 200 isn't a big enough number and we're still going up. So we'll see on the next one. And things have slowed down considerably. Not on the basis of gaining subscribers, but just on the basis of me. From this point on, well, like I said, thank you. But from this point on, we're going to pass on to a little bit of a vlog. I want to talk about basically what's going on. Like, why haven't I made more videos? What's happening? All that stuff. And first of all, I want to say I'm sorry. I do feel like I've let a lot of people down. Especially around 2 years ago when there was this high point of my channel. I got so many messages, and I still do. I got so many messages and comments of people genuinely enjoying my long-form reviews of video games, saying I've got such a pleasant voice or an interesting perspective and style. I include things that they wouldn't have expected. I'm very thorough. And this isn't me tooting my horn. I'm just recalling what what kind of messages I've received. And that's always been and will always be a very heartwarming experience. I think differently from other YouTubers, I can't say that I've ever burned out in the traditional sense. You know, you keep hearing from other YouTubers like, oh, I keep needing to make all of these same videos just in order to survive, and I'm so tired of it and stuff. And I'm sure that if YouTube were to be my job, that would I would get to be at that point eventually as well. But that's not what it's been for me. I feel like what happened to me is just I don't know what the algorithm wants. And I know that always sounds like such a big and daunting and evil word, and YouTubers always blame the algorithm for this and that. But it's genuinely true that the algorithm of any social media platform is ever changing, and it always has got a new enemy. And for LGBT people, let's be real here, I've already made a video about this in the past, it's unfortunately, we've always been in the crosshairs. Serious topics aren't really welcome on YouTube, except when YouTube is unable to detect them. Violence is insanely popular on YouTube when the algorithm doesn't pick up that it is violence. And so it's been very difficult for me to ever adapt to that. I don't know how to strike the iron. I don't know how to strike the gold. And ever since my high point, I have definitely done that before, but I cannot capture this lightning in a bottle. And I think that's the most anxiety-inducing part of this hobby. And it is my hobby. This has been my passion for the past 4 years. I know this year, and we'll get to that eventually. I know this year it doesn't seem like it is my passion, but this is truly what I love doing. I love creating things in general. But yeah, no, I think my biggest problem, or one of my big problems, is that just this job and social media in general, I'm calling it a job already, social media in general is always about capturing lightning in a bottle, and most of us don't know how to do it. It's always chasing that new big hit. It's never consistency. It's never I'm making quality content. I have my audience, and this has been my dream. Has always been to just have an audience, to just have people who are awaiting my next video. They watch it, enjoy it or don't. They comment on it. They give me feedback. I used to love getting critical comments, not hate comments, not complimentary comments, comments that say, hey, this is good, but your audio sucks. Hey, your audio is good now, but this and this was just illogical. That part of the video felt rushed. I love hearing that. That used to make me so damn happy. But the problem with this is just, that's not how it works. And especially for someone of my size of a channel, let's say I'm less than a micro influencer, right? Like my channel has always been a very small size. I have got these spikes of interest now and then again. But for a channel of my size, we always need to chase that new explosive success in order to even get to the point where YouTube will ever at all consider recommending our videos. We rely on controversy and shares and outside sources like Reddit. Like, goddamn, I am having to post every single video I ever make on Reddit in order for anybody to see it. And like, Reddit is a hell site in its own, but like, what are you supposed to do as a small creator at this point? You have to have something. And I think a very frustrating part of this is that something is unfortunately not quality. And anybody that tells you otherwise is just straight up lying. And I'm not saying this out of frustration. When I recognized this was definitely a very frustrating thing to recognize, because when I started out with YouTube, my audio wasn't the best, my video quality wasn't the best, and dear God, it's still not the best. I could improve both of those things without buying new equipment. But once I reached a point where my videos looked and sounded and felt like the big videos that you see, I realized that, fuck, there's people raking in billions of views that have so much less effort put into their videos than I am. Which, sort of, if you'll allow me, if this isn't too cringy for you, is a very good description of capitalism itself. Like, there's all of these people around the globe that are under the illusion that they're somehow not good enough, that they're somehow not doing enough, and they're somehow lesser than all of these successful and rich people that are somehow bringing more to the table than you, the normal worker, are. But the shattering, the sad truth is that they're not. They're not more talented than you. They don't put in more effort than you. They're not special. And I'm not saying they're evil or they're garbage, but they're just the same as we are. They just got lucky. And so what I'm trying to say is that, unfortunately, for the foreseeable future, I cannot see myself returning to high quality videos. I'm sorry for that. I don't like that. But obviously you make your videos, and I'm sorry if I'm being a little bit incoherent, but obviously you make your videos, you make your stuff online, you make your music, you write your books, you do anything that I and other people do in order for other people to see it. I have made peace with the fact that like this will always just be a hobby or something on the side and will never be my job. And if it ever becomes my job, I'll be overjoyed. But I've made peace with that. But the problem is, you don't make these things for nobody to see them. You need people to see them. It's just how these things work. I am not gonna make another 2-hour video about something that I truly care about and am passionate about and took months to make and took weeks of research and writing and everything, even though I love that shit, because nobody's going to see it. And that's a heartbreak that I'm just not ready to have right now. So for the foreseeable future, this will just be a place for me to experiment with striking at that gold again and again and again and again. And I don't like that, but that is unfortunately the reality of social media right now. I guess, TikTok, for example, is a really easy platform to get known on and successful at. I guess if I ever reach a point on TikTok where I have a lot of followers swapping over to other platforms, I can imagine myself investing more here again. But it sucks. Like, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. This really sucks. And it's, yeah, it's a shitty situation. I mean, obviously I'm still going to do things that I like, and none of this is set in stone and stuff, but these are just my thoughts as of right now. I'm still very much interested in playing characters. That used to be a big element of my older videos, and a lot of people didn't realize that, even though it was kind of obvious. Like, obviously I'm not gonna cry on camera yet, and I used to in the past when I used to play these characters and stuff. It was so much fun, and I think specifically what I'm very much interested in exploring, which I hope I've done in an okay manner in my Halloween video, is queer horror. So, like, specifically horror that focuses on the experiences of queer people. I feel like we have such, and I don't mean this in an exclusionary manner, but I'm very interested in horror that relates to relationships, not necessarily sexuality, but just interpersonal relationships and the horrifying experiences and abuse that we can experience in such a setting. I mean, my Halloween video, I think there's not much I need to say about it, was specifically about the horror that many gay men, me included, have experienced of falling for a straight friend, and that person sort of leading you on without really realizing it or wanting to, and eventually that whole build-up and relationship that you cared so much for just crumbling down. I think queer horror has a lot of very interesting and very intense situations and feelings that are worth exploring. And I hope to do so in the future. With everything I write, everything I post. Well, not everything, but with things I write, things I post, movies I make, high budget or not. That is something I really like, and will probably, continue to be part of my life in the future. But yes, so to explain what kind of happened this year, if you want to know, this is also just kind of, a vlog for myself in order to, I don't know, just, update myself, I guess. And I'm fully aware, by the way, as I look into the viewfinder, that I'm sitting here with a fucking League of Legends shirt. People are hypocritical, alright? None of us are perfect or 100% holding ourselves to our own standards. I don't think that's realistic. But no, so what happened this year is, I think sort of the whole build-up of last year, sorry to use that word again, came just kind of crashing down on me this year. The world literally ended last year. Let's not beat around the bush here. The world as we know it, it's gone. And I don't mean this in a wah-wah, oh my god, I can't meet my friends and go to clubs way. I don't care about that. I mean this in a sense of that for so many people, their lives, psyche, and physical health have been destroyed irreparably. People who have had the virus, many of them have brain tumors, lost their sense of smell, their sense of taste, lost so much. So many loved ones died. We have been permanently damaged by this virus, and I think this year I've realized that. Last year I was able to stay positive, but this year truly, I started the year off with just like being deathly depressed about the virus and the whole situation. And so, for a lot of students, I am a student, life now kind of just takes place in your head. Like, your uni, if you're unlucky or lucky, however way you see it all just takes place in front of a desk, and from my perspective, inside your head. Everything you need to learn, everyone you need to talk to, everything you need to do is all just up here. And I think for people who have a healthy mind or are very active or are just very balanced people, that's not a problem. In fact, it's a blessing, because you're here at home, you do your stuff. When you're done, and you're already at home, you can relax and everything. But for me, I mean, I wish I could say so, but for me, it's not been that way. I have definitely led a more active life last year when lockdowns first happened, because I just like, after uni and stuff, I would just like walk to my friends who lived in nearby towns and did stuff with them. But obviously things change. A lot of my friends have finished uni. They've moved back to the States or moved to another city. They've changed up their life. And this isn't me blaming them, but this is me just saying, this is me just stating what has happened. And so that has left me more and more isolated, not in a way that I was alone, but like more and more things have just been taking place here, exactly in this room, or on my phone. And with me already having a little bit of the good old ADHD, I know everybody has ADHD and depression now, and it's very trendy to say that you do, but like, we do. I feel like that's something people don't realize. Like, people do have ADHD and depression now because of the virus. Mental health problems have been an epidemic, a pandemic, long time before the actual pandemic, and now they are rampant. Like, it is not an exaggeration to say that more than 50% of humanity is mentally ill now. So that's a problem. But yeah, no, I struggled with the stuff already in the past, and now this year it's just been driven up to an insane degree, because it's all just here, and it's so much, and it's so difficult to not get distracted and keep, a list of everything in your head. And that definitely has impacted my video making capability, because my past videos, they require organization and planning and a very structured approach so that whatever I'm saying makes sense. And I definitely feel like my ability to do that has weakened a lot. I have been lucky, to say the least, that I'm not one of those people that have lost something permanently because of the virus. But honestly, who knows when I will get back to a point where my mind isn't as foggy anymore. I'm trying. A lot of people are trying. I mean, I don't think I'm the only one who works out and meditates and does all that stuff just in order for your brain to just do its thing for another day. I've always just worked out and done all those things purely for mental health. I've never really cared about my body that much, but like, obviously the pandemic has just made all of that stuff so much more difficult. Like, dear God, when is it gonna be safe again to just go to the gym, right? I mean, oof. Yeah, so that's basically what happened this year. The whole load of the world ending and everything, and my mind weakening, it's all just gone together. And I don't know what I would have done if I didn't have a boyfriend, like, throughout this whole period. I'm not gonna go into detail about that because I do like to keep my relationship rather private, but like, I've had a boyfriend for a while, and I remember feeling so jealous, almost agonizingly jealous of, well, anybody that was in a relationship. Not because I was one of those people who were like, oh, I want a girlfriend so bad, or I want a boyfriend so bad, but I was so in need of that feeling of connection, right? And I'm really happy that I got that. But of course, And so I'm saying, like, I can't imagine how this would be if I didn't have him. But of course, the thing is, like, and a relationship is a lot of time investment, more than anything. And it did make me lose a little bit of touch with both my friends and with my creative side. And obviously, to have a boyfriend in your life is a blessing. But it did come with the drawback that my already weakened connection with my creative side was stretched even thinner. And unfortunately, we have, by the way, we have open conversations about all of this. This isn't something that I'm just like spilling out into the open without having discussed first. But like, unfortunately, what happened, also because of a death that took place this year, unfortunately, what happened is my connection with my creative side was stretched so thinly, and I felt so lost and unmotivated and so incapable that it just completely tore. Like, I felt completely disconnected from like my creative side, which is basically my driving force in my life for months now. Like, I think I can pinpoint it to like August, September, and it's not come back. And that's really sad. Nothing like that is permanent, I know, but it has been very worrying. It has made me worry a lot, because this has never happened before. And yeah, what can I say? What can I say more than that? It has been a very scary time. And I'm very lucky and happy that he's been there for me. But obviously, these are things that I need to do on my own. And I don't mean this in a macho way. It's just certain things you need to figure out yourself. So yeah. On a more, I guess, angry side, one of the reasons why I haven't been feeling creative and stuff is just I'm a bit too... I don't know if it's pessimistic, I guess too realistic, in a sense that like whenever I want to make or do or post anything, there's a side of my brain saying like, wow, this is exciting, this is such a great idea. And the other side of my brain is saying like, why would you even post that? Nobody cares, and you're not gonna gain anything from posting that. Why be creative at all? And I think I'm not alone with that feeling, especially after the virus, because I mean, I've just, moments before recording this video, I was walking home and I was looking at Twitter, I know, and the perfect example of what I just said was just laid in my lap. I saw this post on Twitter comparing Squid Game to Mr. Beast's Squid Game video. And it was basically just, Squid Game took 10 years to make, gained 103 million views in 30 days on Netflix. It was such a huge creative effort on all parts. The series had purpose, it has a message, it has developed characters, it has high effort of actors and everything. And in 30 days it accumulated 103 videos. And if I recall correctly, Mr. Beast's Squid Game copy video has been out for a couple of days and it already has 110 million views. And it took a few days to make it best. It is a complete knockoff of an already existing thing. And Mr. Beast's, unfortunately, Mr. Beast's only claim to fame is the fact that he's rich. And that's it. That's his talent. And I feel like it's very unmotivating for people, for creatives of all niches and stuff after the pandemic, to just constantly be confronted by these people who are treated like gods. They are fucking, they're worshipped for being rich and getting richer, and treating those people whose creative ideas they've stolen like dirt. And that's incredibly unmotivating, because We have these fucking billionaires plastered all over everything all day. Like, you'd have to delete all of your social media and not look at news in order to not get, like, shoved in your face again that, like, ideas don't matter. Effort doesn't matter. This isn't a meritocracy. This is just... well, it's just feudalism. Like, there's just rich people on top, and they deserve our attention, love, and everything, and, like, whoever has ideas or puts an effort or has a passion or tries to improve something, it doesn't matter, because a rich person will just buy it. And then they're the ones that deserve the praise, and they're the ones that did everything right, and they're the ones that that have to be books written about them and stuff. And yeah, that sucks. Like, what am I gonna tell you? Like, is there like a positive to this? No, of course not. Yeah, I guess that's it. I mean, obviously, Mr. Beast is a whole conversation for himself. I don't care if you like him, but you know, the only thing that I'm gonna say about this man is that I don't trust his psycho look, and I've never trusted his psycho smile. And let's just say, if poor people didn't exist, Mr. Beast wouldn't have a job. If suffering didn't exist, Mr. Beast couldn't solve the suffering. If people wouldn't be starving for money, and starving in general, Mr. Beast could not make videos about helping them. Is that, are we clear? If people didn't need money, Mr. Beast wouldn't be rich. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay. Thank you for watching. There's gonna be stuff on here in the future. I mean, the podcast's still running. I'm working on other podcast projects as well. I want to make videos on the 2 League of Legends games that came out. Unfortunately, I can't record on my Switch, and also one of the 2 games keeps crashing. And I already contacted support, and they were like, "Oh, we already patched it." And I was like, "Oh, apparently not good enough, because I literally can't after a certain point because it keeps crashing." But yeah, that's it. I'm seeing that this is now almost 30 minutes long. I had a lot to say, okay? We haven't talked all year. Yeah, that's it. Thank you. And see you soon. I kind of feel like Jeff from the Overwatch team at the end of these kinds of videos. Why am I not the leader of the Overwatch team? At least I'm not a fucking rapist.